poem is called The National Theatre, and it was an attempt to reconstruct a photograph that I lost, one of many photos that I've lost over the years. Back in sometime in 1969, my dad brought family to the National Theatre, and there was this Japanese friend came along, and he owned a camera, and it was one of the few photos I had of us as a family together. But unfortunately, it got lost in the many removals we had through the years. So the poem is a sort of an outtake from an essay that I wrote about that photograph. So the National Theatre. In the lost photograph, the National Theatre stands, its 5 spires rising above the crescent boat fountain, and its aqueous ribbons sparkling in the late 60s sun, to salute the nation's birth and mark the year it severed cord to the peninsula and sailed down a long chute to the future of leaping towers, jostling to own the country's sky. The same year the boy in the photograph was born, caught mid-air in Kodak heaven, leaping from a parapet. Now the boy teeters on middle age, and the theatre is gone. $1 a brick to build. The rickshaw man, the samsui woman, the street hawkers, teachers, clerks, and children poured their blood money to raise the gleaming art deco edifice. On the right, the Van Cleef Aquarium shields its twilight gallery of tank fishes from the tropical blast. His dad brought him there once, his tiny slippers slapping on the terrazzo floor, fingers trailing on the bubbling luminescence. Then the pour of light as he stepped out of the fan-cooled silence into the banging cicada choir, raced up the steps to the liana and fern-clad rain trees, sentinels of Fort Canning drooping over the mouldering graves of the colonial dead, names and dates the tropics had all but erased from the crumbling stone crosses and faded plaques. And entombed in the bowers of the drowsy hill, like a chamber where the nation's secret lies buried, the bunker, and the sweating British High Command, huddled over grim maps, their faces wincing as the bombs rained and the hill shuddered, the city burning under the strafing zeros. General Percival's thin frame shrinking as the reports trickled in of corpulent Yamashita and his bicycle divisions sweeping down the peninsula. If only the Sentosa redoubt and its giant guns had been pointed north. Someday, they will excavate the bunker and unearth the moment of loss, and the brave pale man in khaki will come trooping out and release the defeated ghosts, waving time's white flag. They will turn the place into a museum of wax figures and canned effects, as they've done to Sentosa. Nothing will restore the theatre and the aquarium. Nothing will revive the phantom shapes, recall the living figures, the boy and the dead father, outside the frame of the lost snapshot, the father's death, the weight of parenthood relieved for the moment, watching his son take the lead. Thank you.